Alright, welcome back to the Journeyman Project 3. We're getting close to the end. So if we're going to access the secrets of Shangri-La, one of the objects that we need is the bowl of the pauper, or the beggar. And oddly enough, none of the bowls that we're carrying right now seem to get the job done. But if you want an actual literal beggar's bowl, then we actually know one. In fact, I'm in the form of him right now, the beggar from Atlantis. So what the heck's his name? Padros. So now I'm out on the temple altar again where we left, because if you come back to a time period in this game, you always come back to where you left from. And that means that we're going to have to get back to the dock where we last saw him anyway. But if that's the case, the ferry's not going to be there waiting for us, so we have to make our own way back. And the only way I can see to do that is do what we did to get in here in the first place, but backwards. So if I close that gate thing there we go. And then, let's see, there. I'm just trying to remember how to get down those stairs. I guess this way? Yeah, there we go. Then, with the water shut off, the pipe that we snuck in here through the last time should be open to us again. Down and down and down and down. Look, how did I get in there in the first place is the question. Oh right, ladder, of course. Okay. So the hitbox for where you move forward is kind of hard to see on that bit. Alright, there we go. So that's where we just were up there. Straight line. Alright, in we go. And God, you gotta wonder about scale sometimes, because it's like, I'm thinking there's no way I would actually fit in that hole. Okay, so I gotta close the trap door, so otherwise I can't get out. And then, now, I had to get the ferry... No.
Ingenious. They erected a system of these windmills, actually wind pumps, to pump water out of the island. They probably use them now to keep the water levels consistent and to replace water they lose every time they use a lock.
That'll do it. And, of course, the last time I was here, I had to get on the ferry. I had to get on the ferry to come here to use that secret passage. And happily, Kasha, I think is his name, my guy, the ferryman, is still here, so we'll turn into the windmill keeper, I guess. I seem to remember he didn't want to give a beggar a ride under the assumption he couldn't pay. But anyway, let's get on over there.
Where would you like to go?
One last dose of overacting. I guess I need to go to the dock.
That will be 10 dromoi, please.
And luckily, my finances have still somehow not gotten run out, so... maybe they will after this, but, alright. One last dose of massive overacting from this dude, and again, dock is literally over there, so I'm not sure why we're bothering, but
here it is. Oh, hey, take care now, huh?
do my best. Alrighty. He's practicing his recorder, God help us. Okay, so if I remember, Padros the beggar was over this way. My first thought is, how do you talk him out of his bowl there, but maybe the need won't arise.
Looks like Padro's left to fulfill his part of the Underground's plan. And it also looks like he left his bowl.
Oh, okay. So the plan's underway. Now that raises an interesting question to my mind is, like, I mean, you know, time travel, but, you know, the ferryman was still there at the windmill. Padros is left for the plan. How long was I gone? That's what I wonder. Like, relative to the Atlanteans' perception was I could have been gone, you know, I could have picked up the piece of the legacy from here, the one they call the Galeth, you know, 10 seconds ago, or a day ago, I don't know. Anyway, I wonder, I'm just curious to see if I look up, how far up can I look? I can't see the sun. I was going to see if maybe the eclipse was going to happen any second now, but now I'm wondering about, is my Egyptian captain guy still here? He's still there. Huh, that's weird. Although it sounds like, at the very least, you know, I guess they're not going to find the Galeth or whatever, because I've got it, but it's kind of nice to think that at least their escape plan will work, because as I said in an earlier episode, one of the kind of unsettling things about this game is when you suddenly realize that you're, you know, getting those legacies, but you're not saving these people. Like, they're still going to get blown to smithereens, but presumably the escapees from Atlantis will make it, which is nice. But a good number of the characters you meet in all these environments won't. I also had an idle thought, just before we head back to Shangri-La here, that of all of the characters you meet in all three time periods, oil vendor lady is literally the only woman in this environment, in these environments. I guess that kind of makes sense in Shangri-La, but you'd think there'd have been at least, because, you know, monks. But even then, Buddhist nuns are a thing, and you'd think there'd have been at least one in El Dorado. Oh well, anyway, there's not much we can do about that now. But the main thing is, we got the bowl, so let's get on for returning to Shangri-La and starting the next stage here. So relaxing. Oh, and I'm Genghis Khan again. Alright, so we've got the bowl. Let's see what happens. Now, we've got to go around and visit all the Buddha statues, and I've got my own ideas about what order to do them. It does, I mean, you can do them in any order, but I'm going to do it, since we're standing in front of this one, we'll start with this. So, presumably, there, yeah, lights up, we put it in his hand there, and what happens? Whoa! Blimey. Alright, we have a marble or pearl or something. They call it blue stone. Oh, okay.
Neat! The book gives the ignorant animals intelligence. But don't you think the animals should ease into literacy? Maybe we could ask the llama for a pop-up book of knowledge. Don't mind me. Let's go offer this book to the green statue.
Oh god, that must have been a leftover from the earlier conversation with the llama. Okay, so we have a blue stone. That's whatever it is. Now, presumably if this Buddha statue has one, so do the other ones. So here's what we're gonna do. Because very much in the mist tradition, there are, you know, each of the statues has something to offer them, but inevitably one of them is more complicated than just handing them something. So we'll go back into the tunnels here to start with. Now, if you look back at the previous part and the llama's description of the different things, the different offerings that will sort of spare the suffering and get you closer to enlightenment. Most of them are objects. So the green Buddha statue that represents the animal realm. Knowledge, well, we've got a thing called the Book of Knowledge. For the Pretas, the hungry ghosts, it's a sacred fruit. Well, we have that. So far, so good. But the thing is that there's one of them, and specifically the Hell's Realm Buddha, which, if I bring the map up, is the skeleton-y one over here, that it says the thing that liberates them is a purifying heat. Now, I don't have, a hairdryer with me or anything, so that is a little more complicated. But if you need a source of heat, what we do have are all these vents or hot springs or steam tunnels or whatever they are. And what you can do, in theory anyway, is route the steam, route the heat, so that it's all flowing in here. And if you remember in the... we just go over there. So if you remember when we explored this room the last time, this sculpture over here is made of butter.
This looks like a shrine for the Black Buddha. Each realm of the Wheel of Life has an associated color. Black corresponds to the realm of Hell. That would make sense metaphorically, since these steam tunnels could represent the hot catacombs of Hell.
Exactly. So presumably, if we need to access a stone here, the offering we have to give is heat. So if I go back here, so if you reroute the steam so that, for example, this block right here, if I move it to the side, then the heat from this vent will be flowing in this direction, and then I move in here, and then maybe I move this one, and so on. I can get to the point where the heat is blocked from going anywhere else except or almost anywhere else, because there's a couple that are stuck open like this one, where it's all going in here, and that will melt the sculpture. Now, this is a tricky sort of logic puzzle in the kind of tradition of that classic, get a head of cabbage, a sheep, and a wolf across a river brain teaser that you sometimes hear about. But that means that there's a couple of different ways that you can go about it, but the main thing is the end result. So what I'm going to do is, because there is no like secret, perfect sequence, because you'll have potentially moved these things around in all kinds of ways just from exploring. So there's no way to know where you're starting from. What I'm going to do is I will just go around and rearrange the different doorways until we have the right one. And then what we'll do after that is I'll edit out the whole process of doing it, so you don't have to watch me making, the wrong move again and again and again. And after that, I will put up the map, and you can see what the final arrangement is supposed to look like. Because, like I say, the number of ways you can get there varies. And then we'll go back to the shrine and get the pearl. But since this is the most difficult, or at least the most complex one, I figure I'll do it first, and then we'll have it out of the way. So if I just, I think this is the last one. It needs to be.
I'm detecting a definite shift in temperature. You did it, Gage!
Whew, okay, I thought that was going to take way longer. Right, well, can't complain then. Cool, alright, so, really quick, I'll just show you the map. That was the last one I moved into position right here, and then this is, every one of these is where is the position of each one of those little rolling doors. So if you wanted to, I can move it up a little bit so you can see better, but yeah, you can screen cap that or pause or whatever if you need to know where the end game is. I mean, I figured it out the first time more or less from trial and error, but it was a long process of trial and error. So, and like I said, there are no fixed step-by-step way of doing this, because it all depends on how much they've moved already. The other thing is, and surprisingly I didn't have to do this time, is sometimes what you'll have to do is you'll have to go back up above ground and walk from one building to another and then get in the vent entrance another way. Luckily that time I didn't have to do that. But anyway, does mean, however, that we have to take a slightly roundabout route to get back to the Buddha statue, but the good news is that it's pretty much unobstructed, as it would kind of have to be, but let's let's go have a look. There we go. That's what we want. So the statue, the butter statue,
Get
has
it,
melted.
Gage? That butter statue didn't stand a chance against your hot hand. Now
Really?
let's wade through this stuff and find butter-coated enlightenment.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it'd be a bit slippery, not to mention the smell. Alright, so presumably this stone is black in keeping with the theme. Yep, black stone. I think this might be the most inventory-heavy level in the game, all things considered. Now there's one other thing we can do, if I remember. There's a whole bunch of yak butter kicking around in here. And since I couldn't use this bowl for anything else, can I collect some of this butter? Maybe not there. Can I get it there? That might be water. That's funny. Alright. I could have sworn there was somewhere where we could use this bowl in here, unless I... Did I get it already? Oh, butter bottle. Oh, right, yeah, because I already had it. Okay. That explains why I'm confused. Okay, so with that done, we now have the most difficult of the stones, at least for my money there. Sounds like I'm talking about infinity stones, doesn't it? So with that, let's go around. Now, while we're down in the tunnels, there's one other side trip we need to make, because I think there's an item we do not as yet possess, which is for one of the statues, one of the shrines, we're supposed to have a burning sword, a sword that burns with truth, as I believe the Llama eloquently put it, and that suggests that there's a sword around here, but I only know of one person who we're liable to run into in these parts who has a sword. I overshot a little bit there. Is Genghis Khan, but I doubt very much, considering his demeanor so far, that he's just going to hand the darn thing over. So, also, I'm going to, but if I keep going along in here, I think this is the right way. Let's have a look. So far, so good. I just need to open this way. We don't have to worry now because the statue's melted, so it doesn't matter if it stays like that or not. And we arrive at another ladder up to the surface. So if this is what I think is going to happen, just for fun, because I think it's hilarious, given how much this guard, the Dob guard and Genghis Khan apparently don't like each other, I'm going to just sneak up the ladder here and see what happens. I think this is the right one. This is the one exit we have, passage we haven't, I don't think, used yet. Not that we're going to get far, because... Yep.
With all this steam, it's no wonder the Khan has such smooth skin.
I guess that's why he pitched his tent here, is because it's got that as a... Uh-oh.
Khan!
Oh boy. The Star Trek joke on top of everything else. Man, it must have hit hard. It even made my, display flicker in my, presumably, helmet. Alright, much more quietly this time. So, we need to grab something. Here's a sword. And very quickly, go back down. Somehow that time you didn't notice. Oh boy. That was close. Alright. Well, probably not really, but anyway, we have a sword now, and... Oh, that's Khan practicing Om Mani Padme Hum again. Just for the hell of it, I'll turn back into the llama for now. So, let's go. I think we now have everything we need. We've tackled, as I say, the most difficult statue, and now we can deal with the other ones. Now, let's just see. Let me have a look at the map here, just see where it makes the most sense to go next. I think we'll head back up... Yeah, we'll head back up to the main temple. Okay, now that we got out of there, it's time to go on a one last tour of Shangri-La and find the rest of those stones, because we've got 2 of them now. So, Human realm, check. Hell's realm, check. So far, so good.
Now we have the salvation symbol for the Assurus realm. Let's go back to the red statue and place this sword into its hand.
Yes, thank you, Arthur. I think we figured that out. Alright, down we go. Alright, so we won't bother the Khan this time. Hopefully he doesn't see this. So this one, yeah, this one's the Assurus realm, like the Titans. So if we give it the sword... Oh, if we give it the sword, there we go. Yowza. Oh. Interesting that it consumed the sword. That must have been hot. Alright, so we have a redstone. Awesome. Now, let me think. The next two, well, there's one you can gain over there, but I'm going to do that last for reasons that'll become obvious in a minute. But for now, we're gonna skip back over to the greenhouse area, because if I'm not mistaken, there's two of them we have to collect over there. So let's head over there. And an opportunity to ring the bell and come across from the other way, which I don't know that we've done that yet. Alright, we haven't been out here for a while, and the ground is still not green. Sorry, I'm not going to let that go. Alright, here are our yak friends, and...
A lot of people don't know this, but before there were wax museums, there were yak museums. Yes, I'm kidding, Gage.
Yeah, for once, you admit it. Alright, so this, if I remember, is the Shrine of the Animal Realm. And let's see, it's supposed to be the supposed Book of Knowledge here is the solution. Yep, looks good. Put it in the slot there. Hey, perfect. Okay, oddly enough, this gesture that he's making touching the ground is actually a symbol in Buddhism. It touching the earth as a sign of attaining enlightenment, but it also does the double duty of saying, put that there. Alright, so without further ado, next stop I believe is the greenhouse. Here we are, haven't been here in ages. Pop on in. There's probably some conversation options to be had with the gardener if I'm in llama form, but, so to speak. Can't believe I just said that. Okay. So, but, we got the Shrine of the, the Praetus of Hungry Ghosts. And, like I was saying a couple episodes ago, is, according to my Grandma Judy, do not joke about ghosts with Buddhist monks. That's not laughing matter for them. Anyway, alright, and then we have the fruit from the wishing tree that we collected after fixing its roots last time, so we drop that in there. Boom, there you go. Alright. Oh, I keep losing my grip there. There we go. Okay, so looking good. So there are 6 realms, we have 5 stones, so okay, I just wanted to make sure I hadn't forgotten one. So let's head over back to the other side real quick, and the Shrine of the Gods Realm, I believe, is the last one. Alright, here we are. We visited here earlier, but that was a while ago at this point. Alright, one last one here. So this is the one who looks like he's listening to something, and we said that the thing that the gods want is music. Okay, so we don't have a musical instrument, but what do we have over here?
6 of those 8 symbols represent the syllables of the holy mantra. Om, Ma, Ni, Pad, Me, Hum, that we saw earlier by the yaks. I'm not exactly sure what the other 2 symbols represent.
Let's try it out. So each of these are prayer wheels. Now you can kind of click on them in 2 different ways. You've got You got this, where he'll translate.
Ni. Ma.
And so on. Yeah, you get the idea. And then you can also, if you get the hand, you click on it. Oh, God, that one's squeaky. Alright, let's try a different one. Now, I'm not an expert on prayer wheels, but I'm pretty sure they can't talk. However, nonetheless, this way you can generate the syllables of Om Mani Padme Hum, which, as we saw in a previous episode, is the basic sort of mantra in Buddhism. And this statue is listening for something, so maybe that's what it wants to hear. But in Mist tradition, there are all the different parts, but there's a couple of wild cards thrown in there that I'm not even sure if they're real ones, but... Yeah, there's no Ram in Om Mani Padme Hum, so I'm not sure what the story there is. But yeah, so all we have to do is use them to reconstruct the phrase Om Mani Padme Hum. It's a little bit like the generator puzzle in Myst, where you have to get the right ones in the right order. So this is another one where all you have to do is just go through, get him to read them back to you. Whoops, or do that. Or you can do that, that works too. And then all you have, and then you can do what I did and just write a diagram where you make, 8 boxes in order and then number the ones you're actually going to use in advance.
3.
So that isn't one of them, but for instance, that's the first one, and that's the 5th one, the last one. So, let's try that out. Let's spin them now. Om, and then Om Ma, Om Mani. Oh dear. Wait a minute.
Pod.
Oh.
Me.
Oh, I missed one there. Got another problem anyway, because this one
Pod.
is pod, which is the, what are we on, 4th syllable, and it isn't working. Now, this is a part of the puzzle I find quite interesting, because it's actually got more than one solution, and we're carrying both of them, so it's kind of insurance in case you missed one or the other. Because, basically, it's squeaking, it's not moving smoothly, so it needs lubricant. Okay, so what do I have for lubricant? Well, I have the butter, the melted yak butter, or I have the olive oil that I picked up in Atlantis. So just for variety's sake, I will use the olive oil. So let's just dump some olive oil in there. It's going to smell funny, but probably not as bad as the yak butter, I suppose. Right, okay, let's try that again. Perfect. Okay, so once again, from the top. Om. Om Ma. Om Mani. Om Mani Pod. May. Om Mani Padme. Oh. Right. Oh, that did do something. Hey, we got it. All right. And with that, we have all the stones. Beautiful.
The white Buddha in the temple has an outstretched hand as if he's waiting for something to be placed there. Maybe something round and white that looks like the round white stone in your inventory.
Your subtlety is mind-blowing, Arthur. All right. Well, in that case, now that we have all 6 of the stones, might as well put them to work. Now, we were in here earlier, and this is where we first saw this tapestry kind of demonstrating the Wheel of Life. And now that we better understand what it all means, see if we can put it into practice in some way. I always find these round rooms are not conducive to navigating the way you'd want. Tricky bit is finding exactly... here we go. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So, here we are facing Buddha holding a musical instrument, and as Arthur very subtly pointed out earlier, we have him holding out his hand for something. Well, he's wearing white. The stone is white, the last one we picked up, and sorry, I keep losing my grip on something here. So let's pop it in. Oh, he likes it. Hello.
I think I understand the gimmick here. Once you give the object of salvation to a shrine, you are given a stone of enlightenment. You transcend the realm once you place the stone in the hands of the same colored Buddha inside the temple.
So, enlightenment for dummies, which, again, is kind of the edutainment value of this game, in a way. Anyway, there's text here.
The inscriptions speak of the path of Siddha Biwawa. Denied nirvana by pride, the one Siddha Biwawa found himself in the realm of the gods, complacent in their heavenly heights. Only with the Buddha's song-filled voice did he escape into the next realm, the battlefields of the Asuras Titans.
I'm not sure that's an upgrade, but okay. Right, up we go. Alright, so the Asuras realm was next, red with the sword. Okay, where's the red stone? Boom.
The Titans know nothing more than to fight the gods for their glittering realm and fight amongst themselves. Biwawa found himself caught within the frenzy until he followed the light of Buddha's flaming sword. The Titans cowered before it as he escaped and entered the kingdom of animals.
Okay, that seems a bit better. Safer, at least. It's interesting that the guy... I don't know too much about Hindu mythology, but it's interesting that they have Titans like Greek mythology, and I'm wondering whether that's just, you know, a coincidence, or whether they both, one sort of influenced the other, because they did have contact, especially in the time of Alexander the Great. So, well, anyway. With the animal realm, green stone, no problem. Okay.
In his new form, he hunted with animal cunning, forgetting all of Buddha's teachings. But something inside him stirred when Buddha appeared before him with the Book of Knowledge, and he learned once more. He escaped, but found himself within the bowels of hell.
Man, this journey's got its ups and downs.
Biwawa is an interesting name for a Siddha. It roughly means bad man. I suppose the name foreshadowed his ultimate indiscretion with pride.
I suppose that makes sense.
Here's another tale I heard of Biwawa. Well, he's bad, a Biwawa, a baddest man in Shangri-La, wiser than an Obi-Wan, a meaner than a Genghis Khan.
Oh, do hold it in, Arthur. Alright, up we go. So this would be hell. God, Buddha looks imposing in black, doesn't he? Alright. Blackstone. So far, so good. 2 to go.
Biwawa heard the howls of the damned, echoing the very hatred they were punished for. Terrible flame licked all around him by day. By night, he shivered in the hells of cold. Then the Buddha showed him the purifying fire that cleansed his sin, sending him traveling again, to the realm of Praetus.
Jeez. Alright. I do. It is a pretty epic story that you'd have to go through all these cycles to really get it, and have to walk a mile in a lot of other people's shoes. Although I don't know that I fancy the concept of walking in a hungry ghost's shoes, I must say. Alright. Okay, so Praetus Realm, I think, is the yellow one. There we go. Alright.
Then he found himself among the Praetus, tortured creatures tantalized by all things material. Biwawa had never felt such hunger until the Buddha descended again and let him taste the spiritual fruit. And Biwawa felt want no more. Buddha finally bade him to return to the human realm.
Alright. And that makes that one easy.
Humbly, Biwawa would have to begin the path anew to regain his former peace. He would need to overcome the vice of pride, the pride that made him think that he was better than others. So his atonement would only end by helping another. Then, the Sita could be again.
Ooh. Alright. Okay. If it wasn't so erratic in its outcomes, I'd say that was quite a moving story, certainly a good ending. Alright, up we go, and hello. Top of the pillar is this lotus flower, I guess. I think that's what it is. God, that's gotta be almost hitting me. I feel like I'm flinching back. Okay. I'm just checking if make sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Hello.
My instincts say that this lotus is the artifact we're looking for, but previous experience says that this thing should be pyramid-shaped.
This is true. That's kind of weird. Alright, well, let's see whether we can figure out anything from all of this. You may remember those eyes. Whoops. Oh, hang on, we'll come back to that. You may remember these eyes. We've seen them represented in on the wall in the shrine or temple in El Dorado. Pretty standard Buddhist image, as far as I know. Alright, so what do we got here? Interesting.
This mural must be displaying the Cetas, using their power over the elements to move through mountains and transmute matter.
Okay, yeah. And interestingly, as Arthur correctly points out, the artifacts are meant to be pyramid-shaped, and there's the lotus and the pyramid in that same little halo there. So that's significant, one supposes. All right, turn the other way.
There are inscriptions that surround the images of this mural. I'll translate as closely as I can. The infinite Buddha came to our monastery long ago with the knowledge of 3 secrets: life, time, and matter. He spoke of the true path, a way to live by his virtues so that we could also share in his perfection. And he taught the Cetas of matter, that everything in the universe was composed of one energy that could be perceived, understood, and controlled.
Ooh. That would resonate with Buddhism, as I understand it at least. But it's interesting that the Cetas, the ancestors of the Shangri-La monks in a sense, I guess, got matter, and then you've got time, maybe the ability to peer through time. Well, that's something that is the specialty of the shaman in El Dorado, so-called. And then life, well, the Gaelith in Atlantis is supposed to give you eternal life. So, again, yeah, they're seeing these. They may not fully understand where these artifacts come from, but they're they are distinct. That's interesting. Alright, cool. So, let's see. Can I reach this thing? Yes, I can.
From these writings, it's apparent that the Sosiqui entrusted the power of transmutation with the monks of this monastery. Perhaps the Sosiqui felt that these monks had the focus and the maturity to handle such power.
I guess. Alright, fair enough. Let's see, can we can put this in our inventory, very good. Okay, great. But as Arthur correctly points out, it's the wrong shape. So what the heck do we do about that? Alright. Now, if we look, what have we here?
For some reason, the eye lens was exactly aligned to look across the ravine and see the pilgrim.
Oh, so it does. It's the fellow who's prostrating himself we keep seeing. Either we've been taking less time about this with all the jumping around through time, or he's been there a long while.
Gage, it all makes sense. The pilgrim on the road is the Sita. He's finally returned to the human realm after escaping all the other realms. He must have the power to transform this lotus for us. Let's cross the ravine and ask him to help us. Oh, you already figured that out, huh? Sure, Gage.
Oh boy. Wow, okay. Well, that's something, eh? Now, let's head on over there. I think we've done all we can up in this space. I mean, we literally have the artifact that we're looking for. So, but this raises all sorts of questions, because, like, does that mean reincarnation is really a thing? Is that pilgrim a human who's somehow, as a matter of interest, the stairs are retracting behind us as we go down. Is he an alien? And I wonder, it kind of puts an interesting context on the story of the Sita that we experienced going up the stairs. There we go. Oh, got one more to go here. It's a pity the music changes back when all the stairs go away. I really liked the music when the stairs kick in. It was catchy. But is that story of the Sita like some kind of metaphor through, or sort of retelling through the lens of Buddhism of the Sosiqui who created the legacy, sort of learning humility? And if that's the case, does that mean that guy, that pilgrim across the way, is actually an alien? So that's what we don't know. But I like that it, you know, offers these levels for you to think about. So if I head on over there, we can maybe we can talk to him and get some answers here. Alright, so he's pretty much that way. Okay, we're on the other side of the bridge, and down there, this is about where we arrived originally when we first visited Shangri-La, and there's our guy down there. Now, as I've sort of intimated before, you can hypothetically play these levels in any order at all. I only played them in this order just because they happen to be my favorite sequence, but I also just get a strong sense from the way that there's this extra step and this sort of underlying story, as I say, might arguably maybe a metaphor for the development of the aliens who created this legacy in the first place, that on some level the creators intended for you to do Shangri-La last, because it has this sense of culmination in a way that the other ones don't have to the same extent. Alright, so let's look at the guy, see if we can talk to him. I don't look like him, so...
You have nearly completed the true path. Now, for the final step, you must shed all the trappings and illusions that surround you.
Okay. Alright, that's unsettlingly knowledgeable of him. Let's try... Alright, well, let's give him this thing.
I have finished the path. I have the artifact. Can you change it to the proper form?
I cannot transform this into its final form until you finish the path. To finish the path, you must be true to yourself. To be true to yourself, you must be true to others. Shrouding oneself in illusions deludes others, and leads you off the path.
I like how he is about to go back to prostrating himself, and then he's like, oh wait, you need this first. Now, wait a minute.
This may sound crazy, but I have a feeling that the Sita knows who you really are. Why else would he speak to us that way? It's as if he's known all along that we're looking for something. If I'm right, he's asking you to drop your chameleon guys.
Yep, sure seems that way. This again feeds into my hypothesis that he's an alien, is because his level of perception is certainly unusual. Or he's a human that's got the power of this thing. So, well, what can we do except oblige? So, because other than that, we're just going to keep talking to him in circles. So this is what I'm actually looking like right now. And now let's try giving him the Lotus again.
I've dropped my guys and have completed the path. Can you transform this for me?
You have completed the path, traveler. You are indeed worthy.
I feel like they should have had Gage's real voice come through at that point instead of Arthur interpolating, but hey, there she goes. Crazy. The lotus is a symbol of enlightenment in Buddhism, seems particularly apt in this scenario somehow.
You have journeyed far, traveler, and you have completed the path by honoring the ancient virtues. And you have saved my soul by allowing me to help another.
Aww.
I am on a new path now. I am eternally grateful. I wish you peace, traveler, and success.
Wish.
I have it! I found the third artifact. You're just in time, Gage. The Gothalis. They just entered Earth's orbit. It won't be long before they locate the TSA.
Receiving a high-priority communication from the Cyrolan cruiser Aquila.
We have felt a great disturbance from the TSA. You have the legacy.
In the Force?
We have sensed it. Believe that the Quotha lost know as well. We are sending Cyrolan sentinels to assist you.
Oh, jeez. Good thing they're in a mountain. Yeah, don't break it.
The Gothalis have breached the outer shielding. All security teams prepared to intercept. I say again, the Gothalis have breached the outer shielding.
Before everything gets even more chaotic, I just wanted to say, well, be careful.
Oh, God. With the cliche dialogue. Alright. Yowza.
Gage, the three artifacts are projecting some kind of image. I recognize some of the elements. Remember the Sasiqui symbol that the Cyrolan ambassador showed us?
This pendant is an ancient Sosiqui relic that our archaeologists discovered on another planet. We believe this symbol is a Sosiqui marking that represents their legacy. The true legacy might also bear this mark.
Turn up the resolution. Oh, there we go.
I think we need to create that symbol by manipulating these artifacts.
This is the puzzle that kind of finishes the game. Unfortunately, it's the kind of puzzle I'm really bad at, which is sort of kind of a spatial reasoning kind of a thing, where, well, I'll break down the mechanics for you real quick here, but suffice to say, you can move each pyramid in a different way, and it changes what pattern they're projecting. They different elements can cancel each other out, as I think is happening between these two. So you can rotate it like that, so I think I just basically turned it over. There we go. Yeah, so well, that's getting close to what we want. And then we can also, yeah, there we go, turn it around, like so. so far so good. And, yeah. And then our man Arthur here will have hints.
Hang on, Gage. The face on the top artifact looks like it has a lot of elements. That looks like a correct piece. Let's keep that side facing us and concentrate on turning the other two artifacts.
Okay, so he'll let you know when you've got one of them right. It's just a at least the right face. So let's try that again here. So at worst, you trial and error your way through it, but let's see. Oh, I'm just turning it around and around, aren't I? Let's try that. That's better. I don't think that's getting the job done. But if I do this, whoop. I turn it around, yeah, the tricky bit, oops. The tricky bit, and then, yeah, I think you do that, and it shows you what you'll get, what bits it's canceling out. That's how I interpret it anyway. So leave that on. Tricky bit for me, at least, is clicking when it's, you know, kind of on an angle like that versus like this. That's where I keep fouling up. I'm just making sure that I've accounted for all the different faces, which I don't always know if I'm doing. But, oh!
I think the most important concept for these artifacts is that two overlapping areas cancel each other out. But if a third artifact also has an element within the same region, then that shape will appear in the central image.
Okay, so let's try like this. Nope. I'm basically kind of trial and erroring my way through this, shamelessly, because I sometimes get what we're trying to do. The other thing as well is that you might have the right piece but at the wrong angle. So if I do that, for example, that's looking close to what we want already. Yeah, and then let's try like that. Let's get it. We're getting warmer. So, all right, and then they said that one's correct, but maybe it's at the wrong angle. So let me just try something real quick here. Hey, there we go. Whoa, duck.
The legacy was meant for all races.
It's right in front of you. What are you looking at?
Quickly, give us the legacy. The Course of Lost will destroy us all if they claim it.
The Lordwood killers have no right to our legacy.
Can't you see the cycle is happening again? Your two races are battling each other over something that's supposed to bring peace. I won't let you turn this place into another battleground.
This is kind of a disappointment. I was like, oh, that's a really alien-looking alien. But then it turns out it's like an exoskeleton for this guy who looks almost exactly like a Cerolan. Unless that was supposed to be the thing, is that Cerolan Post-Large is a type of Cerolan. I guess the way that the look of shock indicates that that's exactly what we're supposed to think. But still. Whoa! Ow! That was harsh. Oh, incoming. Guy who's done all the finding. Whoa, he's possessed. This is all getting very messianic.
Know that the Sosequi have long since transcended your universe. Our legacy has waited thousands of years for its proper heir. It contains the sum of our wisdom. It is the collective essence of what we were, and what we are, and what we will be. This knowledge must be tempered with maturity. Its secrets will be shared with the many races around the galaxy, but only when they are ready for such an awesome responsibility. Until that time, the legacy will be safeguarded by beings who have already demonstrated their worth, wielding the disciplines of time, matter, and life.
Humans will claim their birthright and become the stewards of the Sosikwi legacy. They will share its knowledge with the galaxy when the other races have proven their worthiness.
We understand the oath, and we will obey.
It was right into my theory that that pilgrim guy was an alien unless they took the image from his memory or something. Well, they were remarkably cooperative and all that. Space graves.
A great fate lurks in the future of humankind. Elliot told me that often. You must be Gage Blackwood. I am.
What if he wasn't?
The service was very touching, Reverend. You wanted to see me? Yes. Throughout his long life, Elliot always believed that it was his duty to guide humanity toward a destiny. But 10 years ago, when the Sorolans came to invite us into the Symbiotree, he misjudged and insisted that they had come to conquer. Blinded by his zeal to protect Earth, he acted rashly and was imprisoned on Vega Thalon. Yes, I know. I put him there. Gage, when you came to see Elliot, prison had already eroded his faith in humanity and his will to live. But he asked me to tell you that you were not responsible for his death.
Maybe that's what he was
Great
whispering at the
time
beginning.
is coming in our history, he said, and he believed that you would help to usher it in. That thought comforted Elliot in his last moments. I want to thank you for coming, Gage. Thank you, Reverend.
He was a great man once. You know, his death really wasn't your fault.
When did we think it was?
Gage, I wanted to thank you. I didn't expect to see you at my hearing, but because of your testimony, they commuted my sentence.
Yeah.
You redeemed yourself. I only spoke the truth.
Oi, with the cheesy
Yes,
dialogue.
but you put your reputation on the line after everything I did to you.
It's all in the past, Michelle. We both know we can't change the past.
Time travel joke. Alright.
Have you decided whether you're going to accept the Symbiotry's offer?
No, I haven't. I told them I needed more time.
Retirement's not your style, Gage. Besides, I think your ego would swell up too much if I had to call you Mr. Ambassador, to quote the philosopher.
Arthur?
So that's what he looks like.
Remember, Commissioner Jack wanted you at the ceremony early.
Why did I agree to that?
Why? Because you saved the world again! All by yourself, with absolutely no help from your friend.
All right, point taken. I won't forget to mention you.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. And when will this magnanimous mention occur? After dessert or during the cab ride home?
I couldn't have done anything without you.
Even though Genghis Khan would make a big splash at our reception, I need to assume a more formal chameleon guise. Something macho. Gage,
Oh, so is he like walking
that
around? Is he like piloting the suit with nobody in it?
Never mind.
That's hilarious.
He'll probably
It's kind
be
of
a
cool
part.
to see the actual face behind the voice. That's not something you get to do very often. No. Very 90s sort of style credits. Well, there we have it, my friends. That's the Journeyman Project 3 Legacy of Time, and this is going to get tiresome in a minute because Arthur's going to start singing. So I just want to sum up the game as I have a lot of fun with it. It's just there's something just fundamentally 90s about it that gets to me. It's the kind of story hunting through time for alien legacies that I would have just flipped over when I was a kid. The characterization sometimes a little pretty corny, although if you note here, as I said earlier, they're not doing too much of the whitewash casting if they can possibly avoid it, which I'm pretty pleased about. But very clever puzzles. I do enjoy some of the more artful games that use full motion video characters. That guy was a good actor, though. I liked him. If it's got a little bit of a twisted subtext with the whole letting the world get destroyed dealio, but still. I like it a lot. The puzzles are very clever, and the level design is gorgeous. So it has a lot to offer if you like a good retro game. And I still want to know if that guy was actually an alien or if it was just the alien decided to look like him, but whichever. Thank you very much for joining me for the Let's Play, and let's get out of here before...
Your theme music is lovely, but I think it's about time we played a little something for the kids. 2, 3...
Alright, we're out of here. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you another time.